Oh, sorry. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Thomas and Haley Show. It is Haley from Talented HV, along with my co-host Thomas, and our special guest today is Nikki from Nikki's Fun Adventures. Welcome back to the show, Nikki.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
I literally just forgot I was doing the intro. I was like, oh shoot, sorry. Anyway, today's episode of the Thomas and Haley Show is that we're all gonna basically share our personal experiences, like our perspectives and stuff like that, of what it's like living life while being blind or visually impaired, of course, because Nikki's visually impaired and me and Thomas are blind. So, like, of course, that will include like how schooling was and how we get through life now and so on. So Nikki, since you are the guest speaker, would you like
the guest of honor?
Yes. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
And also, sorry, one more thing. And also, I'll be checking the comments as each of us are talking, and if there is comments, I will read them. Sorry, go on.
All right.
Well, I started out in public school. As a child. And at first they started me on large print. Like this. But I just wasn't able to keep up with my classmates. So, and I was reading really slow, so they introduced me to Braille in 2nd grade. And that went so much better. And also in 2nd grade, I started to learn orientation and mobility. Which was nice because I wanted to be able to walk from like my house to my grandma's house, which was only a few blocks away from each other. But at first,
Hi, Skel. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, hi, Skel.
Like I would get lost doing the simplest routes. And then as my orientation and mobility skills progressed, I was able to do more difficult routes. And then in 5th grade, I had a teacher who decided just because I used Braille, even though my person that helped me would interline my work, that he didn't want to my work. So he would just let it pile up on his desk and have me do assignments 2, 3, 4 times sometimes.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So finally, the person that was helping me, like, the person that was like brailing my worksheets and stuff for school started actually grading my assignments and telling him, okay, she got this grade on this grade on this.
Right.
And so all he would have to do is enter it in his book.
Right.
And then one time, that same teacher gave me a C for math. Yeah,
Oh wow.
not cool.
And what was the reason why he gave you the C? Was it because of you not answering like some problems right, or was it because he couldn't like read it?
I have no idea why he gave me a C for math when I wasn't even in his class for math.
Wait, you weren't even in the teacher's class for math, and he gave you a C. What?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I went.
Okay.
I went to the I went to a different room for math because I was struggling in math.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is definitely
Wow.
not cool.
No, it is not. Oh, Nikki, before you continue, I just want to clarify the topic. So, when I set the topic title, we're first going to talk about like our experience of being binary visually impaired when we went through school, which is what Nikki's talking about right now, and that's what Thomas and I will talk about when she's done. And then, of course, we'll talk about how we're living life after we graduate from high school and stuff. So, we'll clarify that too. Go on, Nikki.
And then 6th grade was going well, but then I found out for 7th grade on, because you move around classes, like from class to class to class.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to stick me in one room all day except for lunch and Fayed with the person that was like creating my worksheets and stuff for me.
Oh, jeez.
And I looked at my mom and I was like, that is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom agreed with me.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I just want to stop you for a second. I don't want to ignore our viewers. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you in the chat. And Scale says, sorry that happened to you, meaning you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it. Lol.
I've been checking.
Yeah, we're both looking at it, so it's cool. All right.
So then my vision teacher that came like once a week to teach me how to use the Braille and Speak and like and stuff. And would come to my IEPs and stuff, was like, what about the blind school in Faribault? And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. Let's try it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And my mom was like, let's try it. My mom was like, okay, let's try it. So we tried the end of 6th grade with me being a day student. And we lost Thomas.
We did?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. Well, keep going. It's fine. He'll come back.
And it was 45 minutes to and from the school from where I lived.
Right.
So I did that 45 minutes in the morning and 45 minutes coming home.
Right.
And in the afternoon. And I didn't particularly care for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard about all these different activities that you could be in if you was either on campus or close to the blind school. And so I pretty much begged my mom to let me be a dorm student the next year.
Right.
And she was like, okay. And so 7th through 12th grade, I was a dorm student at the blind school. And I absolutely loved it. And I was in cheerleading, track, swimming, goalball, and what they call forensics, which is basically giving speeches.
That was a sport?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought that would be like a club or something, but no, it's a sport. Oh, interesting.
Well, they lump it in with the sports.
Oh, okay.
Because they have what's called NCs.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to travel with the school and compete and win like ribbons and stuff,
Yeah.
depending on how well you do.
Yep.
So yeah, those are the 5 things I was in. Also, for my first like year or two, I was in Girl Scouts, but then I ended up,
Not wanting to do it anymore.
yeah.
Why not, Nikki? They have the delicious Girl Scout cookies of the world, like the Fitbits. No, I'm just kidding. Well, they do, but
I know.
I was kidding.
I just wasn't too much.
Right.
And I just couldn't keep up with it all. Plus, I was helping with the snack bar after school. From like once I turned 15 or 16, I think.
Right.
And I would help with activities. Like when we'd go out to eat or to the movies, I'd help with that. And and when we'd have dances, I'd help with those and stuff.
Right.
So I just had a lot on my plate. I couldn't do Girl Scouts plus all that.
So
Yeah, I believe it. And Thomas has returned. I don't know what happened to you, but you're back.
So Chris said, when I was in school, I did my work in large print, or I had it read to me.
Yeah, we already read that.
Oh.
We read that while you disappeared.
When I what?
While you disappeared, because I don't know what happened to you.
Not sure what happened. Anyway.
I don't either. Anyway, Nikki, do you have anything else you want to share about your schooling as being visually impaired?
But once I went to the blind school, I learned how to use a computer much better because I was one of those people that would like hunt and peck.
Right.
Because I had no real computer training.
Yeah.
And I barely knew how to use like a Braille and Speak.
Oh wow.
Because I only had training once a week. And every time I had training, I'd somehow mess it up and it would eat up the rest of my time. So I got maybe 20 minutes tops of training. And then I'd do something.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. So yeah, when I went to the blind school, my knowledge of technology went like expanded drastically.
Wow. Nikki,
Yeah.
Chris asked, what obstacles did you have to overcome in school? How did you deal with them? I assume he's asking anybody this, so when Thomas and I speak, we'll answer that too. So you can answer.
Well,
first.
in public school, I was teased a lot, like pretty much every day.
Yeah.
People would switch their voices on me and pretend they're somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
The teasing actually got so bad that one kid actually threw my backpack out the bus window while it was moving.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to take a special bus to school so I wouldn't get picked, so people wouldn't do that kind of stuff to me on the way to school.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get your backpack back?
Yes, thankfully.
I was gonna end up asking that too.
How did you get it back?
I don't remember. My
Was
mom told me that.
Was anything broken in the backpack?
I don't think so.
Wow, well, that's good that you got it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Nikki, do you want to share anything else about your schooling part of things?
Well, I graduated in 2004. And while I was in high school at the blind school, I took Spanish 1, 2, and 3 at the public high school, and that went a lot better than my elementary school days.
Yeah. I would believe.
Kids were a lot nicer.
Mm-hmm. I believe that. I do believe that. Okay. Anything else before I end up asking Thomas to share, or is that it?
As far as my schooling goes, that's it. But
Okay. Because we'll talk about how we live life as blind or visually impaired after like school, after Thomas and I both shared that perspective. So just like
okay.
So Thomas, from your, because I assume you went to the blind school all your life, according to my knowledge. If
10
not,
years.
but what was going to school like for you?
Well,
Or just talk about school first.
Well, elementary school was really fun. I really enjoyed elementary school a lot. I was never picked on. Everybody was always helpful and, did sighted guide. And in my school, every week somebody new or somebody different, one of the students would give me a sighted guide. Every week it would be someone different. And I enjoyed that. That was cool. The only really embarrassing thing that happened to me in elementary school is I kissed a girl on the school bus.
What
I
was
mean,
embarrassing?
I don't know why it was, but
Wow.
but
Well, if you ask me.
as far as Perkins School for the Blind went,
Mhm.
I didn't like going there because it was too far away from here. It was 3 hours away from here, and I really didn't like going there.
And I know you told me this a couple times before, but can you just say this for the show perspective or purpose-wise? Why did you go to the blind school in Connecticut?
There is no blind school in Connecticut.
See, okay, before you say anything else, to me that's that I believe that every single state in the U.S., which is 50 of them, that they should all have some type of blind slash hearing impaired slash deaf school or something. They should.
And the reason why I didn't go to public school here in my town is because high school, I should say. The reason why I didn't go to high school in my town is because they didn't have the services that I needed. So that's why I went to Perkins.
Well, those people are useless.
So I went to Perkins School for the Blind from 2002 to 2012. I graduated on Friday, June 15th, 2012 at the age of 21. So there you have it.
I want to ask you the same question that Chris asked Nikki. Of course, obviously it sounds like a lot of them, but can you name like a couple obstacles that you attempted to get through while you were in Perkins? Or would you fairly say like there wasn't really any, like you struggled a lot?
No, there wasn't any obstacles, but it was always hard for me being away from home. That was the hardest thing for me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So is that it for the school perspective for you?
Yep.
Okay, before I share
Pretty
mine,
simple.
very. Nikki's was very detailed, which was good. Thomas's was just quick and simple. Fair enough. Before I
I'm
say,
a simple guy.
Scal says, I like the blind school. I should have been there all my life. Yeah, that's the perfect example of shoulda, could have done or whatever. So I understand completely. So for me, as some people know, or a lot of people, I lost my sight in 3rd grade. So I finished my elementary schooling in public elementary school. In fourth grade, that's when I got introduced to O&M and Braille. So that's how I got introduced to like the material for the visually impaired or blindness. And during my 5th grade IEP, to which I did not go to, yes, I was a stubborn kid that refused to go to my IEPs, and that changed until high school. but the IEP that I did not go to, that's when a teacher said to, and I don't remember who, but one of them said to my mom about the blind school in North Carolina called Governor Moorhead. And I was only 11 at the time in 2011, before November, of course. And
that's funny. You were 11 in 2011.
Yes, that was before November, of course. So I wasn't 12 yet. But anyway, so I went to the Governor Moorhead summer camp, which at the time was 4 weeks. Nowadays, just do 3 weeks. Why? I don't know. But I loved it there because there was people around me with different types of eye conditions, either low vision or could see out of one eye or completely blind. It wasn't just like I wasn't like the only blind person in the whole entire school, which was nice.
I can relate.
Yeah, which was very nice. And after that, my mom said, well, how did you like it? Because that was the first time actually me being away from like my parents for that long of a time too. Because from Winston-Salem, which is where I lived at the time, because I don't live there now, I live in Massachusetts. From there to Raleigh, without traffic, it's 2 hours. So of course we went back and forth. We went to school from our specific bus stops. For me, it was the Haynes Mall on Sundays, and then we would get dropped back at our stops on Fridays. I was very involved with school too. This was through, and I can tell you specifically, it was Monday, November 7th, 2011, until Friday, June 8th, 2018, when I graduated. I was very active. I was on the cheerleading team for a couple of years. I was on go-ball, track and field. I was in band. I was in choir. We even had...
I was also in choir. I forgot about that one.
That's fine. And we also had a theater club at one year. That was fun. And in 9th grade, we also did a school play directed by the choir teacher. That was
I really like doing track in the swim team. I really like doing that.
That's one thing that we didn't have, which I was so annoyed by, was the damn swim team. We didn't have that. We did have the other ones. And then also, I was also part of the student council. I was a representative for my homeroom class in my 9th and 11th grade year. I was vice president in my 10th grade year. And I was president in my 12th grade year. And my favorite award ever during awards day, perfect attendance. I had that all 4 years of high school. Of course, the days where severe weather came and they had to send everybody home, that didn't count against me. The times where we went on trips like to Florida for Disney World to perform, that didn't count against us. And neither did any of the sports or the musical trips the school had set up. That didn't count against any of that. So I got perfect attendance every year, which was very cool. But of course, there was drama in the blind school, which was normal, unfortunately. But I did get caught in the middle sometimes, but I got myself out of it. And as I got older, I said, just like, leave me out of it. Like, I don't need to know. And and to answer Chris's question about the obstacles, like I said, trauma. Because my relationship now, he's my second boyfriend, and he'll be my last because I want to marry him. Anyways, my first boyfriend, he and I, there was a bunch of drama, and just eventually his parents told us like we couldn't be together anymore, yada yada yada. So there was basically drama everywhere. Like if you tell someone, "Hey, I'm going to tell you a secret. Don't tell anyone this," or whatever, usually that doesn't go for so well. And I went to the independent living apartment called the Block House, where we cooked meals for the me plus the 3 other students that were in there, because it was like a little house, the 2 bedrooms, 2 beds each, the bathroom with the toilet, sink, the shower, the washer, and the dryer, and the kitchen, of course, in the living room. It was very nice. So, and most of the years I did have roommates when we were in the cottages. And sometimes I had a room to myself, which was even better because I didn't have to deal with people snoring and some other things. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. All right, so, and there's no new comments. Great. So the next part of this discussion is afterlife, is what I would call it, like after school life. So
The afterlife.
yes.
You talking about roommates reminded me of a interesting story.
I didn't like having roommates. I
loved having roommates.
No, I always liked having
your own space.
Yeah.
I understand. Nikki, do you want to share that quick story real quick before we talk
Yeah.
the next thing? Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna say names.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Because I doubt they'll find this channel, but just in case.
Rather be safe than sorry. Right.
One year I had this roommate, and we'll just call her MH.
Okay.
And I was coming out of the room, and she had been in the bathroom taking a shower. She comes out of the bathroom, no towel around her, no clothes on, nothing.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Why would you why would you come out of the bathroom with no clothes on and without a towel wrapped around you?
Or at least a robe or something. Dang.
Wow.
I was like, oh my.
Too much for the eyes.
Especially for you.
Oh my.
Right?
Because you're looking.
If I was there, I would have asked her straight up, why did you come out of the bathroom with no with no towel or no robe or no clothes?
Lord.
That's crazy.
I was like, what are you doing? You should at least have your towel wrapped around you.
What'd she say?
She's like, I'm sorry.
Did that happen more than once?
Yes.
Oh, and clearly she wasn't sorry after that.
How old were you and how old was she?
I think I was like 18 or 19 and she was like 20 or 21.
Oh, wow.
Well, that must have been awkward.
After like 2 or 3 times, I was like, I cannot take this anymore. So I finally asked if I could switch rooms.
And you did, I assume.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been awkward.
That was.
Very. Okay. So, the next part of this conversation is that we're going to basically talk about, like, how life has been for us as being blind or visually impaired after we graduated high school. So, Nikki, would you like to go first with this too, or do you want Thomas to go first?
I'll let someone else go first since I started
Okay.
us off.
Remember, this is basically in your case from like 2012 until now, basically. So go on.
Me?
Yes, your name is Thomas. Last time I checked.
Yeah. Well, after Perkins, I got a job in 2014 at a movie theater that employs people with disabilities. I worked there from December 22nd, 2014, which was a Monday, up until September 7th, 2016, which was a Wednesday. So, yeah. And then not really much has happened since then.
Do you talk to any of your friends from school?
From Perkins, yeah.
Yes.
A couple
Okay.
of them, yeah.
Okay. What kind of hobbies do you do?
Well, I write.
You don't work right now.
Well, I write stories. I enjoy spending time with my friends and family. Of course, I do YouTube, and that's what I do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Now, before COVID,
Yeah.
I someone from the state was coming here to help me find a job, and we were filling out applications. But once COVID hit, that was it. The lady stopped coming here once COVID hit.
Do you think she'll come back when like things actually get cleared up and all the restrictions are lifted? Blah blah blah.
I don't know. I hope so.
Do you have any contact information of her?
Yeah, I have her phone number.
Okay, so yeah, you can always reach out to her.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Nikki, how was life for you like right after you graduated high school until now, of course?
Well, I graduated May 27th, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course, talk about your hobbies too, of course, if you wish.
Right. And I've kept in touch with quite a few friends from my blind school days. Not the one from the story, but other ones that were good friends. And I had one fiance before Mike. That I was dating while I was going to the blind school. And then for like a year or two afterwards, or more. And we ended up breaking up because he started ignoring my phone calls, my texts, my emails, basically any form of communication I had with him, he would ignore it.
Why?
Well, he had told me that if he could be with me and this girl named Taylor, who was 16 at the time, that he would be with both of us.
All I gotta say is, okay then. Okay, keep going.
And she lived in Texas, and we lived up here.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't share my guy.
Right.
And after that, he started ignoring pretty much every form of communication I had with him.
Oh my.
For days up to a week at a time.
Wow. So what was the last straw for you? What made you finally say, yeah, we're done?
Well, it really hurt my feelings, and I was like, you know what? I don't deserve this BS.
You don't? No, you don't.
I deserve someone who's gonna care about me and how I feel, and who's gonna want to talk to me
Right.
and not ignore me.
That makes sense.
And I gave him his ring back, and I ended it.
Hey, at least you're not one of those. At least you're not one of those women that say, "Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the ring and sell it and make money off of it." At least you're not one of those people.
No.
So, how did you get into the relationship that you're in now?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So, I ended up moving around a little bit because my mental health was kind of not the best, so I was in some adult foster homes and stuff, and one of them was here in town, in the north part of town. And that's when I got back in touch with my current fiance.
Mm-hmm.
And we dated for like 10 months. But then the person I shared the downstairs with was driving me freaking insane. Like, they would move my stuff out of the dryer or out of the washer without telling me. They would come in my room unannounced and stuff like that. Just a bunch of little things that eventually drove me nuts.
Wow.
To the point where I was like, okay, I have to get out of here or I'm going to do something I'm going to regret.
Right.
So we got me out of there. And I ended up moving back up to the cities with my dad for a while. That was really hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I loved Mike. And I didn't want to break up with him, but I didn't have a way down here. And I didn't think it was fair to ask his mom to do all the commuting for us to see each other.
Right.
So I ended it, as hard as it was, on both of us. And then I ended up in an adult foster home up there for a while. And Um. Sorry.
It's all right.
And there was a med error, and they basically told me not to tell anybody. But I was feeling weird, and so I ended up telling my family, and they said I did the right thing. You know? And so he got me out of there. And then I moved in with my sister for a couple years. And then she physically and verbally abused me. And then I went into a group home for a year and a month. And then I got my apartment in Owatonna. And that's when Mike and I hooked back up, as well as living in my apartment in Owatonna.
Okay. And I assume that's like that's like been like the latest thing that's been up to date in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And keep in mind, guys, the stuff that we're sharing, we don't have to share any of this because it could be like emotional or trigger warnings or some other things. But Nikki, I'm glad you have chosen to share that. That's very valuable. Thank you. Thomas, what about
Sorry
you?
for saying a lot, but some of that was kind of hard to share.
It's okay. I can tell by the tone in the voice. It's all right.
Quite all right, broski.
Also, Chris wrote in the comments. He said, yeah, when I was in, I don't remember if we read this or not, but I'll just read this again anyway. It says, when I was in school, I did my work in large print and things were read to me. Yeah.
Yeah, we read that.
Anyone else read that? Oh well. Okay. Thomas, you?
What about me?
Just to clarify, the question is, like, how was life for you, like, right now?
Pretty good. I have my two volunteers, Lori, who is still in Florida. She'll be in Florida till May, but now I have my other volunteer, Angela, coming again. She's back from visiting her mom, so she's coming here once again on Friday nights and Saturday nights, and that's a big help. And of course, I have my the guy who used to volunteer for me. He comes here every Friday, and we hang out from 12:30 to 2 my time. So I really look forward to Fridays and Saturdays. So yeah, life is good.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Before I say mine, Chris says, Nikki, you are a strong person. I really respect and admire your strength.
Thank you, Chris.
And then Amanda's in the chat. She said,
Hi, Amanda.
Wow, my stars. Hello there.
Hi there.
Hi.
keep in mind that's not how voiceover is. I just decided to be a little bit more dramatic. Anyway, come on, that's how it would sound if someone was saying it out of their own mouth. Anyways, so my life after me graduating from the blind school. So my original plan was supposed to go to this rehabilitation / training program, independent training program, which is also for it's for adults and it's on the Governor Moorhead campus. No, they don't connect with the Governor Moorhead school at all. It's something separate. It's just on the campus. I was planning to go there because they have like the college prep course, O&M, independent living skills, and career stuff and stuff like that. But before that can even come into play, I believe it was my mom that found it. She found this program, a brand new program in 2018. That was going to be brand new in 2018, called College Access, which was going to take place on the Perkins School campus, and it was basically going to help students who have just graduated high school get prepared for college, or if you went to college before and you had a bad experience, you can be qualified for that program to help you like get the skills for you to go back to if you want to try it again. And at the time it was 10 students, and I learned a lot there. I got O&M skills freshen up on. I got some independent living skills up my sleeve. And that's also when I got my Dell computer at the time, and I got retaught how to use the computer with like JAWS and stuff, since it's been a while at the time. And now that was for 9 months. That went from August 20th, 2019 until August 20th, 2018 until May 18th, 2019. Then after that, I went with my cousin, Oriana. We went to Springfield Technical Community College, which is in Springfield, Massachusetts, because like she had to turn in some like paperwork or whatever since she was going to go to school there. And she signed up for us to have a meeting with an advisor. And they told me about the school and stuff, and I was like, that sounds cool. So I applied right then and there. And at the time, I was going to study early childhood education to be a preschool teacher of some sort. Currently, I am in my 4th semester. I recently changed my major to the general studies, general liberal arts, I believe. It's just like the general studies degree where I can, it's like the associate's art degree, where I can use that. Like when I go to a university, I can get a major like in journalism for broadcasting, and a minor either in professional writing or writing. Why in the world, Haley, would you go to that when you had early childhood? Because I realized that despite how much I love children, which I still do, it'd be kind of hard for me to teach kids that are like super young, from like birth to 8 or so, with being blind. Yes, there is a thing where you can teach visually impaired students, but I honestly don't want to stay in school super long to get a master's degree in order to do that. No, thank you. So, and of course, one day while I was sharing some of my books that I've written in play scripts that I read, one of my friends from the UK, he's actually me and Thomas and Nikki's friend, he said to me, "Mate, have you ever considered of studying journalism?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Mate, you should," because he said how I write good stories, I come up with good characters, I present well, I'm a good talker, stuff like that. I'm like, "Well, thank you." And I thought about it very quickly, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that. So I told the accommodation specialist in school, who she helps me like assist stuff with like applying for classes or whatever, because I don't know how to deal with the screamer, how to register for classes. I wish I knew, but I don't. So she helps me with that because I asked her to. And she said that was great. She respected it. And my academic advisor, who happened to be one of my former professors, I had her for 2 classes, to be very specific. She agreed with that too. And so did some of my family members, because I only told like a couple, and then of course they all found out on Facebook and stuff. And I got it changed, because I got an email saying like, "Congrats, you got accepted to the general studies program at STCC, blah blah blah." I was very happy. So that's out of the way. And of course, for fun, I as people normally do. They watch or listen to TV. You talk to your friends on social media, stuff like that. And like I said before, I also write my own stories, my own play scripts, my own songs, and I also do the song covers, mainly of pop music. But like if you have like R&B songs or stuff like that from like 1995 until now, for me to do any of that stuff. No music before that, unless if it's the Beatles, because that's like the only 60 group that I know. So, if you guys have any ideas for song ideas for me to write about or the song covers, you can put it in the comment section of one of the latest videos on my channel. I will see it, and I'll give you a shout out by whatever your name is on YouTube, because most likely I will not know your real name. That's how I get my subscribers involved. And of course, Thomas, which is doing everything blind, and Nikki, who's Nikki's Fun Adventures, which, by the way, I'm still going to say this. I helped her come up with the name, because
Yep.
it was just Nikki Wonderlick. I'm like,
If you have any topics for Haley and I that you guys want us to talk about, please leave them in the comments down below in this stream or on any other stream or any other video of the Thomas and Haley show.
just make it simpler. Just make it simpler. Because most of the time the comments will disappear from the live chat, which I think is stupid. So when this stream uploads, if you have any ideas of topics, you can write them on this stream.
There you
When
go.
it uploads. Because again,
Which will be tomorrow. probably.
yes. Yeah, so just look for the recent Thomas and Haley show stream and you'll see it. Let me see if there's any more comments real quick. Okay, right. Okay, cool. So again, all the information that Thomas, Nikki, and I shared, again, it's our personal lives, and of course, it probably not might be the best thing to talk about on YouTube, but we felt comfortable enough with doing so, and it wasn't super personal, like some other things that I would say, but which I won't. Yeah. So if you like this stream, please click the like button. Please subscribe to Doing Everything Blind so you won't miss any single video of his, or you won't miss any Thomas and Haley show episodes. Again, down below.
Please make sure you hit that all notification bell.
Yes, and please comment below for suggestions for ideas. Nikki, as always, thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central, 12 Mountain, and 11 Pacific.
No, we won't. Because next Sunday is Easter, so we're gonna have to figure out a different. We're gonna have to figure out a different time. Or if
you just want to skip it that day, that's fine too. That doesn't matter to me.
I don't want to skip it. No.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it during this week.
Yes.
Okay, so to be determined.
A couple things. So before we go, please stay tuned because I got 2 more videos coming up for you guys as far for today. So right after this, believe it or not, Nikki and I are going to do the keyboard, and then at 7 o'clock, Haley and I will be doing the keyboard. So you guys have that to look forward to. And as soon as we figure out what time we're going to do the show next Sunday and what the heck we're going to talk about, I will let you guys know.
Yeah, and of course, let me know, obviously.
Yes. So, you guys take care.
Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.
Take care.